Dear students, greetings. Today we are going to discuss about the new topic, that is the antivirus or antiviral drugs. In the antiviral drugs, we are going to decipher few points like what is the classification of antiviral drugs, how they work, what is their structure, and how the structural activity relationship work in many of the class of these sort of drugs. We have already discussed with the life cycle of virus, wherein we had discussed in the last lecture that how the adsorption takes place of the virus to the host cell, penetration of the virus, then uncoating of the virus and the nucleic material, the nucleus get uncoated and the nucleic material releases, and after that how the transcription takes place, translation takes place, assembly, and finally the release takes place, that we had already discussed. So the same thing is out here, that is this is the virus. The first step is what? The first step is it will enter into the cell, that is the first is adsorption to the host cell, then penetration, that it enters into the cell, then uncoating will take place. So this is the coat around it, this is the coat around it, and this coat is removed, and after this they enter into the nucleic material, wherein the transcription takes place, that is messenger RNA is synthesized, and which have that code of the protein synthesis or the desired protein, and then the translation takes place, that is what the protein is synthesized, and this protein either it will work as the enzymes, understand, or even in the formation of the coat around this one, and then the new nucleic acid, that is the nuclear material of the virus will be synthesized, and this new nucleic material and the protein it togetherly forms the another virion, and this virion will enter into the cell first, that is the host cell, and from that host cell it is released out of that host cell. This host cell is my cell, that is the human cell, let us assume this one, and into this human cell this particular virus is going to get infected, understand, and from one virus another virus, that is what the multiplication of the virus will take place using this mechanism. This mechanism we have already discussed in detail in the other class. You can have the look to that particular video. Now what we are more concerned is this part, the second part, that is let us see what it is. The classification of the antiviral drugs. Now whenever we are going to discuss about the classification of the antiviral drug, the first important class is that of the DNA polymerase. Okay, DNA polymerase inhibitor. These DNA polymerase inhibitors are very important. These DNA polymerase inhibitor. The first class of antiviral drug, what it is? DNA polymerase inhibitor. Now DNA polymerase is an enzyme, please understand, DNA polymerase is an enzyme. This enzyme is essential for the multiplication of the nuclear material, that is the genome, that is the chromosome, that is the ultimately genetic material of the virus. You require this DNA polymerase enzyme, and if this DNA polymerase enzyme get inhibited because of this pseudo metabolites, understand, then ultimately there is the blockage, or there is the replication of that viral DNA will not take place. That is simply what is happening, you know. Adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, these are the natural nucleic bases. So to this nucleic basis you are going to attach the sugar, deoxyribose sugar, ribose sugar, understand, and it form the nucleoside, and to this nucleoside phosphates are attached to form the nucleotide. These nucleotides combine, these metabolites actually, these combine to give you the DNA. RNA, the messenger RNA synthesis. Understand? So that is the replication, even the transcription and then translation. Now, instead of these adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, which are the natural analog, the dummy analogs of this one are synthesized, and that is what the different classes of antiviral we are going to discuss all together. And once they are synthesized, what they are going to do, these antimetabolites, especially for antiviral drugs, first thing is what they block, the one class of drug will block the DNA polymerase enzyme, so that the DNA replication will not take place. Even these dummy nucleotides, they get incorporated into the new DNA or the new ssDNA, the single stranded DNA which is formed, and as they are going to get incorporated, and so that the faulty RNA, the faulty ssDNA, single stranded DNA will be synthesized, and this single stranded DNA, or as they are faulty, and ultimately what will happen, as these are the faulty synthesis of viral DNA, ssDNA is taking place, the ultimate synthesis of the protein which is required, that will not going to happen. So ultimately, what is the mechanism? That is, these are the anti-metabolite. Instead of the natural metabolite for the synthesis of the DNA, these are the anti-metabolites. As they are the anti-metabolites, they are dummy, so miscoding will take place. The exact coding in the messenger RNA, that is the transcription, will not take place. However, even though what is important is this one. See, the first important class is DNA polymerase inhibitor. So in this DNA polymerase inhibitor, one important one, the subclasses we can say, that is the adamantane amines. The best adamantane examples, two very important example, that is one is amantadine and the second one is rimantadine. Understand? So these are the two important classes we will discuss in the next slide. The second one is the pyrimidine nucleoside and nucleotide. Pyrimidine bases, I just explained you all these things. So purine bases and pyrimidine bases. Understand? So these bases form the nucleoside with the sugar and nucleotide with the sugar and phosphate. And instead of these natural analog, these are the dummy analogs or the dummy compounds, or the one who mimic the pyrimidine. So like in the second place, pyrimidine nucleoside analogs. Understand? So that would be, the example is iodoxuridine and trifluridine. These are the two examples which are the pyrimidine nucleoside and pyrimidine nucleotide. Understand? The third important class is the purine nucleotide and nucleoside. So the one who mimics the pyridine natural analogs, they are the pyridine nucleoside and nucleotide analogs, that is the iodoxuridine and trifluridine, and the one who mimics the purine nucleoside and nucleotide, that is the third class, and the third important class, that is the purine nucleoside and nucleotide analog, and the best example would be the acyclovir and ganciclovir. So acyclovir and ganciclovir, these are the examples for the this class. So ultimately these are the three major classes, wherein the first is adamantane amine, second is the pyrimidine nucleoside analogs, and the third one is the purine nucleoside analog. So these three classes under the DNA polymerase enzyme inhibitor. So in roughly I have explained you the mechanism also. Understand? So these are the examples which are there in the syllabus, so that while writing even the classification, you are supposed to write these examples, and if possible, understand, so in that case you can write about the structures as well. Okay, so the second important class is the reverse transcriptase inhibitors. Understand? In that again, one class, or the one important class, is the thymidine analogs. Understand? So example is zidovudine, anti-HIV drug. Similarly, cytosine analog. In case of cytosine analog, examples would be the zalcitabine and lamivudine. Got it? Then the purine nucleoside bases, purine nucleoside analogs, these purine nucleoside analogs would be the diadenosine, ribavirin, and the remdesivir you cannot include in the reverse transcriptase inhibitor. So in the reverse transcriptase is the actually enzyme which is essential for conversion of, or the viral RNA is there. From this viral RNA, the single stranded DNA is synthesized, and this single stranded DNA get incorporated into the normal DNA wherein of the host cell, and the damage to the host cell is taking place. Or you can have a simple mechanism, that is the single stranded DNA synthesis is taking place from your RNAs in the nucleic material by using the reverse transcriptase enzyme. So if you are inhibiting the reverse transcriptase enzyme, ultimately the RNA of viral RNA will not multiply, will not replicate. The viral RNA to the ssDNA, that is the single stranded DNA, will not take place, because if we are inhibiting the reverse transcriptase. If this reverse transcriptase is inhibited, so the normal RNA won't convert into the single stranded DNA, and ultimately the replication of the RNA will not take place. Ultimately the replication of RNA, replication of your virus will not take place. So these are the reverse transcriptase inhibitors again: thymidine, cytosine, purine. So these analogs, you can say that again these are what? Nucleotide bases, and the nucleotide bases analogs these are. And the last would be the non-nucleotide, that is a non-nucleotide or non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitor, and the example is delaviridine. See, I have taken few of the examples, you can include more, but these are the examples which are there in the syllabus, so that make sure you write these example. That is what I just wanted to make a point. Understand? Then once you have understand this second class, let us discuss the third important class, that is the HIV protease inhibitor. So the HIV protease inhibitor, examples of HIV protease inhibitor are: one is the sacubitril, indinavir, and ritonavir. So these are the examples for the HIV protease inhibitor. Got it? Now the mechanism for the HIV protease inhibitor, and that I'll include in the separate video, so that you can understand very well. Now the first important class we had discussed, that is the DNA polymerase inhibitor. And in this DNA polymerase inhibitor, first important class, that is the adamantane amine. Adamantane amine. Now whenever there is a adamantane amine, please understand, this is nothing but the adamantane ring is present. Adamantane ring. What is adamantane? You check this particular ring. This is one ring. Understand? And I'll have some another color so that you will understand. The second ring is the one which is this one, second ring, and the third ring is this part. Got that? So that all together, if you see, there are three rings which are present in it. So that, see, this would be the one ring. Got it? This is the second ring, and this one is the third ring. So all these three rings are present in the adamantane. Adamantane itself is the three-membered ring. So this first structure is adamantane amine. Plain amine group is attached over here. Understand? Instead of this, so that would be this. This is what? One adamantane amine. And if we attach this one methyl group, another methyl group, and NH2. So what that could be? Methyl. This methyl alpha, that is alpha position. This is the alpha position. So this is the alpha methyl, one adamantane methylamine. This is NH2 CH2. So this is the methylamine. So this would be the alpha methyl one adamantane methylamine. So what these two drugs are doing, that is they are inhibiting, please understand, what they are doing is they are inhibiting the uncoating of virus and prevent the penetration into the host cell. So penetration into the host cell, it is inhibited by this one. So how that penetrate and everything, that we had already discussed. Now out of these two drugs, this particular drug, that is the rimantadine. No, this one is the rimantadine and this particular is the amantadine. Now rimantadine is 4 to 10 times more active than amantadine. Please understand, 4 to 10 times more active than your amantadine. So that is what you have to understand. As far as the adamantane goes, 3 points. The examples are adamantanamine and rimantadine hydrochloride. These are the two examples. Rimantadine is 4 to 10 times more active, and what is the simplest mechanism? Inhibit the uncoating and penetration of the virus into the host cell. So this is the adamantanamine. Now please understand, whenever we are discussing about the structural analogs, so basic structures you should be very well aware about. Got it. Now what that basic structures I am talking about is this one. So this is the adenine and guanine. So these are the purine bases. Now how these are purine? Please understand, this is the imidazole ring and this one is the pyrimidine ring. Pyrimidine ring plus imidazole ring. Got it. And to this, if we are attaching one NH2 group, in that case that would be the adenine. Now adenine and guanine is one and the same. However, the difference would be NH2 group at the 10th position, which is here in also present, but in the guanine case you will have oxygen at the 6th position. So this is what the difference is. Now if you see here, uracil, from uracil you will get uridine as the nucleotide. Understand? Thymine, from thymine you will get thymidine, and from cytosine you will get cytidine as the basis. So these uracil or thymine or cytosine, if you know these basic structures very well and get it very, very clear, because the antiviral drugs are the structural analog to these compounds only. So if you know very well about these basic structures, you can draw these structures of your analogs, your antiviral drugs. So if you want to draw the structure of antiviral drug, simplest thing is you have to remember these basic structures of these metabolites, that is basic structures of these natural analogs of the DNA synthesis. Understand? So this part is clear. Purine, what the purine is having with? Purine is having one imidazole ring, one pyrimidine ring and NH2 group at the 10th position. As it is same to same, adenine and guanine, same to same. Only thing is at the 6th position you are going to add one oxygen. That's it. Now similarly, if you consider the uracil, thymine and cytosine, now in all these three cases, this is one nitrogen and this is the second nitrogen. So that is what? One nitrogen is pyridine, two nitrogen is pyrimidine. So these are the pyrimidine analogs. Please understand. The first two are the purine analogs. These three are the pyrimidine analog. You know that uracil is present in RNA. Got it. Now in case of uracil, what is that? At this 4th position double bond O, and 2nd position you will have double bond O. That's it. Got it. Now instead of these two double bonds, if only single double bond is there, got it, if only the single double bond is there and NH2 group, that is here 2 double bond O, 2 double bond O, 2 oxy group, here only one double bond O and second is a NH2, in that case it would be cytosine. Please understand. So uracil and cytosine both are one and the same, that is the pyrimidine is the basic analog which is present, but what you are supposed to remember here is the oxygen. Okay, that is the here oxygen in case of uracil. In case of cytosine, oxygen one is there, but the another at the 4th position it is NH2 group. Got it? So this you are supposed to remember. And if you consider the thymine, the middle one structure, in that case double bond O, yes, it is there. Again here double bond O, yes, it is there. What is the difference then? The difference would be one methyl group at this position. Means all these three structures are very minor differences between all these, among these three structures. What is that? Uracil, cytosine. Uracil at second and fourth position you are having double bond O, and in case of cytosine, second position double bond O is there, only at the fourth position NH2 group is there. And in case of thymine, same as uracil, second position, fourth position you are having the double bond O. Only difference is what? At the fifth position you are having the methyl group. So if you know the basic structures of this one, the same analogs are present in case of your antiviral drug. So that is what the important thing you have to remember. So see, this is a pyrimidine nucleotide basis. Now if you see, in case of here, these are the pyrimidine nucleoside bases. Now this is uridine. Check this. This is the uracil, isn't it? This double bond O, these two nitrogen, and what this could be? This is the ribose sugar. Ribose sugars are present in case of the RNAs, and deoxyribose sugar is present in case of the DNA. Now this is ribose. How? Check this. Here it is OH group, and here it is also OH group. Both are the OH groups are present, but in this case here is OH group and the second oxygen is missing, so that is the deoxy. Oxygen is missing, so deoxyribose. So this is uridine. First structure is, this is uridine, and this one is the thymidine. This particular structure would be the thymidine structure. This structure is the thymidine structure. Now please understand, so what is important in both of the cases is the uridine and thymidine. What is that? The base is there. Okay, base is there. Where is the base? This is base, this is base. Understand? This is thymine, this particular is thymine, and this is uracil. Understand? To this uracil we are going to attach the ribose sugar. Got it? This is the ribose sugar, and to this thymine we are going to attach the deoxyribose sugar. So this is thymidine, which is the deoxyribose sugar present, and in uridine ribose sugar is present. Got that? So the same thing, if you consider the pyrimidine analog, pyrimidine nucleoside analog, that is the iodoxuridine. The example is what? Iodoxuridine. First example, iodoxuridine. See, these are the ophthalmic ointments. It causes the systemic toxicity, so that the ophthalmic ointments are present. Now, what is the difference? Sorry, that you have to understand between this first structure and this structure. So this particular structure is the iodoxuridine structure. Got it? Now check this uridine structure, that's the first structure, and this iodoxuridine structure, both are similar structures. Got it? Or more precisely, instead of this uridine, if I consider this structure, so it is very similar to this structure also. Okay, but first compare with the uridine structure. Now the first structure is uridine structure, and then what we are going to do is this particular uridine, check this double bond O, this is double bond O, one and the same. Good. Now this double bond O, this double bond O, one and the same. What is additional thing? The additional thing which is present is this particular iodine. Check this. This particular iodine is the additional thing which is present, and this iodine, okay, this iodine is the difference between uridine and this structure. So that while nomenclature also you can see it is 5-iodo. This is the fifth position. At fifth position iodo, 5-iodo, 2 dash. 2 dash means what? The second ring. This is the second ring. Dash refers to the second ring. 2 dash. So which one is 2 dash? This is 1 and this is 2. 2 dash deoxy. Why deoxy? Oxygen is missing here. Check. Here it is the oxygen is present and here oxygen is missing. So that there is a 5-iodo 2-deoxyuridine. That is nothing but the iodoxuridine. Similarly, at this fifth position, if I am going to attach this trifluoro, then it would be fifth position trifluoromethyl. Trifluoromethyl in the at this center place, this is the methyl group. Understand? So that is the 5-trifluoromethyl 2 dash. Where is 2 dash? 1, 2. 2 dash deoxyuridine. At the second position, you will have no oxygen present. So that is a 2-deoxyuridine. So ultimately, what you have understood is these are the uridine analogues. These are the uridine analogues. Uridine analogues are this iodoxuridine and trifluoridine. These are the uridine analog. As these are the uridine analog, please understand, they will look like same. They will mimic the same way. Understand? But they will not give the desired product. That is, the miscoding is going to take place. That is going to the wrong DNA will be synthesized. The wrong protein will be synthesized. Understand? As they are the anti-metabolite in the nature. They are the anti-metabolite in the nature. So the structural similarity you understand. First thing is the structural similarity and the how to nomenclate it, that also you have understood. So what it does, that is what it inhibits the DNA polymerase enzyme. So it prevents the viral DNA synthesis. So thymidine triphosphate metabolite. So the basic metabolite is the thymidine triphosphate. Understand? So this competitively replaced by the anti-metabolite. What it could be? Trifluoridine triphosphate. Okay, so in viral DNA synthesis, and it alter the DNA, causing the faulty transcription, so miscoding and faulty protein synthesis. This is what we had already discussed with. So I think this particular concept is very much clear with you. That is the pyrimidine nucleotide. As the pyrimidine nucleotides are there, in the same way you will have these purine bases. Check this. In case of purine, so see this particular. This is what? Guanine in the nature. Guanine, adenine and guanine. These are the purine bases. Got it? So the example would be acyclovir and ganciclovir. What is the difference? To this guanine, see, this is this particular part is guanine. You will have the same nucleus in both the structures. Got it? Only difference is at the 9th position you will have a pentose sugar. You will have a pentose sugar. Instead of that pentose sugar, in this case it is a acyclic sugar is present. What is this acyclic sugar? 1, 2. That is the 2-hydroxy ethoxy methyl. So this particular group is attached at the 9th position. So that is what? At the 9th position you will have the attachment. Got that? So acyclovir and ganciclovir, and in case of ganciclovir you can see that in case of ganciclovir, what is the side chain? This is what the side chain. So what is it? It is the 1,3 di-dehyd. See, this is 1, 2, 3. 1 and 3rd position. What is present? Hydroxy group. So that is 1,3 dihydroxy. This is 1, 2, 3. And at this position attachment is there. So what is it? It's a isopropyl or 2-propoxy. Okay. Propoxy, oxy refers to this oxygen. So this is 1,3 dihydroxy 2-propoxy methyl. So this is the attachment which is taking place at the 9th position of your guanine ring. Got that? So basic guanine ring in case of metabolite, and in this anti-metabolite same guanine ring is present. Only thing is, instead of the cyclic sugar, acyclic sugars are present. And what these acyclics are, that is the either it is 2-hydroxy ethoxymethyl or 1,3-dihydroxy-2-propoxy-methyl. So that is what the side chain we have to remember. So the important thing is, this is what I have mentioned here, and that you also need to remember very well. That is, the viral thymidine kinase has 200 times affinity to acyclovir. Please understand, that is the viral thymidine kinase. The thymidine kinase which is present in the virus is having 200 times affinity to acyclovir. Now, what is important is, the mammalian, that is you and me, like we also do have this thymidine kinase enzyme, and the viral DNA also do have the thymidine kinase, but the affinity of acyclovir towards thymidine kinase of virus is 200 times more than that of the mammalian thymidine kinase enzyme. So what it says, that means as the affinity of acyclovir to thymidine kinase of virus is more than the mammalian, so that is the toxicity to human being is very less. Understand? So that the acyclovir is very, very highly selective. So oral formulation, IV or topical formulations are available with this acyclovir. So guanidine triphosphate metabolites are competitively, the same thing, the same line I have written here, that what I have just explained to you, that is the guanidine triphosphate, okay, triphosphate metabolite. This is the metabolite. Which one is guanidine triphosphate? So that would be your adenine and guanine. Understand? So it competitively replaces. Okay, it is replaced by what? The antimetabolite. Which is that antimetabolite? Acyclovir is the antimetabolite in the DNA synthesis. And what happens? That is the altered DNA, faulty transcription, miscoding, and the faulting enzyme is what we get. So that is what the ultimate mechanism that we had already discussed. This is the synthesis of acyclovir. The separate video I have made about the synthesis of acyclovir, you can have that one. That is simply in case of this one, that is the using benzoyl chloride, you are going to get the side chain of the acyclovir. Side chain of the acyclovir, you are going to get it from the, see the in this case this is the side chain. This side chain we are going to get it from benzoyl chloride. And how this side chain is synthesized, so that you have to see in the other video. I have already made that video. Okay, and once, this is the only synthesis which we have to do from the antiviral category. Okay, so this is what the screenshot of the last video. We have discussed how the shielding and de-shielding and everything is happening. Now the two more compound, that is, one is this compound, that is the remdesivir. See, in case of this remdesivir, now why this is important, that is, this drug is used in case of the COVID, that is the coronavirus treatment. Now remdesivir is also the purine analog. See, this is the purine base. See, actually very specifically if I call it, is the adenosine. So it's having the similarity to adenosine. Remdesivir is having the similarity to that of the adenosine. The natural metabolite which is present is which one? That is the adenosine. And to this metabolite, this remdesivir is the anti-metabolite. Okay, it will look alike. The basic ring which is present, that is the purine base, same purine base is present here also. Same purine base is present here also. Then the second part is the sugar part. This is the sugar part, and the same sugar part you will see here also. Understand? The same sugar part is also here. Only difference is this cyano group. As there are three major things which are making remdesivir more antiviral. One is, as you know, this is the same like adenosine, and but acting as a anti-metabolite. How? The first thing is cyano group. This cyano group will direct this sugar to attach 3-phosphate molecule by the thymidine kinase enzyme to form the triphosphate, that is a nucleotide, the dummy nucleotide. Understand? Second thing is the in case of this one, the nitrogen is connected to the carbon of the your glycoside is the NC linkage is there, but here if you see in this case it is the carbon linkage is there, so that the virus cannot identify this particular compound immediately. Understand? So that is what the same linkage is present in both the cases. You see here the NC linkage, and here is the carbon linkage. That is the second thing. First thing is what? Cyano group is present, which is essential for the orientation of the sugar to form the triphosphate with the thymidine kinase of the virus. Second thing is what? The glycosidic linkage is replaced by the CC linkage. And the third is this is the one part, and the the one which I have mentioned in this particular part is actually the long part of the drug. That means it's actually the prodrug, and this prodrug will undergo the cleavage to form this particular moiety, which is similar to that of the adenosine. So ultimately what is important is this part only. Ultimately this is what the part which is going to make the effect on. So remdesivir is having the similar structure to that of the adenosine, and as it is having the same structure to that of the adenosine, it will work, or instead of this adenosine, understand, this remdesivir, this particular part of the remdesivir will get incorporated into the DNA. So antimetabolite, understand. So this is also the reverse transcriptase. No, it's not actually reverse transcriptase inhibitor. It is the RNA dependent enzymes. So that is what it's playing the role in this case. Now similar to this one, that is the remdesivir, these are the reverse transcriptase inhibitor. Even in case of reverse transcriptase inhibitor, we will discuss this reverse transcriptase inhibitor in the next class. Thank you.